all 7 goals coming in the first half. Only the 4th game in Premier League history to see that feat. Let's just take a look, shall we, at what that means. At the top of the table, Arsenal for now move up to 2nd, 6 adrift of Liverpool, who are of course in action against Manchester City on Sunday. Let's welcome in, shall we? Frank Leboeuf is with us. Frank, what a first half of football. That was bonkers.
Yeah, that was bonkers, and that's very exciting when you love football and you want to see entertainment. When you are a former goalkeeper or former centre back, you have some issues to accept so many goals conceded. And I don't understand Lopetegui. I mean, Lopetegui tries to play football from the back when you play against this Arsenal. Those Gunners right now, for now, a little bit more than a week, are back to the business. They're doing what they have to do offensively. Gabriel and Saliba are back also to their best. It's very hard to beat them. So if you're on top of it, to give gifts to the opponent, it's what's going on. You're going to be punished. So, I enjoyed the first half because of the entertainment and all the goals, but not as a former defender. I think there is a little push also on the first one, on Timber, on Paqueta, and I think I agree with Shaka. The last goal, because of the penalty, Gabriel jumps on one opponent, so it should have been a foul before getting a penalty for that.
What's interesting, when Arsenal were going through their slump, obviously there was no Ødegaard.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to be able to go out and win games without one of your main players. He has shown, hasn't he, how important he is in this team, in his absence and his return.
Yeah, and listen, I thought you start to see, and Frank touched on, you start to see Arsenal returning to their best. Now, Ødegaard, sitting in the middle of the park, is such a creative spark for them that I don't think many people kind of give him enough credit for before his injury. Every time he gets on the ball, he just seems to have an age to decide what to do. Nobody can get close to him. And so much of Arsenal's creative play goes through him. But at the same time, I have to give Arsenal their credit as a team. At 1-0, I started to fear the worst for West Ham because I thought Arsenal were pressing West Ham so well. And just before the second goal, Arsenal had a corner that West Ham won and threatened to go on the counter-attack and could get nowhere. Because Arsenal were just so good in coming back and shutting the spaces down, they regained possession, and moments later, it was 2-0. That's what you saw of Arsenal early on. You could not outwork Arsenal. They would press you high up the park. They'd get numbers back when they had to. And I thought this was Arsenal, again, looking back to their best. And as I say, I feared the worst. But for the 2 goals that West Ham got in very quick succession, this could have been such an embarrassment for Lopetegui because the difference between the two teams is absolutely startling.
Arsenal got a nice run of games, actually, between now and Christmas. You look at it, Frank, and you feel that they can keep this momentum going and try and close that gap with Liverpool at the top.
Yeah, we're going to see tomorrow what Liverpool does. If Liverpool wins against Manchester City, it's going to be, I think, psychologically hard for Arsenal players, even if they are their best, to think that they can catch Liverpool. But if there is a draw at Anfield Road or a win from Manchester City, Arsenal players going to be there and going to be ready because, as we mentioned today, they're back to the business. And I think because of Ødegaard, that's clear. That's clear, and he's showed every time he touches the ball. I mean, the third goal and the little chip that he makes to Shaka, it comes from a different world. So, I feel they're sharper, and I've been critical towards Mikel Arteta after the game against Chelsea. But right now, I want to congratulate him. They came back to some dark days to some very bright future and present because they play so well. They're all together. They're united. They work so hard, and I feel that they physically very good on top of being technically precise. So there is nothing much to say except that Arsenal is back. Are they back to the race? We'll have to wait tomorrow, I think.